Survivor 46 is here, and so is On Fire, the only official Survivor podcast, and we have a twist this season. The winner of Survivor 45, Dee Valladares, will be joining us every week.
We're going behind the scenes of the biggest moments, the how and the why things happen, and the strategy and analysis you can only get from someone like me, a Survivor winner.
Listen to On Fire, the official Survivor podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
This episode is brought to you by Hyperice, the leader in advanced warm-up and recovery technology. They have tons of innovative products, like Venom-heated wearables to help soothe sore back muscles, Normatec compression boots to speed up recovery and increase circulation, and Hypervolt massage guns to improve mobility. Loved by athletes like Naomi Osaka and Erling Haaland. Try them yourself. Get 10% off your order with the code MOVE at hyperice.com.
I'm Beth.
I'm Alex.
And we're off to the Olympics with Team GB.
Keep listening to this special episode of the podcast
with British Triathlon.
Another 2 names have been added to the Paris 2024 squad for Team GB, which means we're out and about again for another big team announcement. This time I'm at the Savoy in central London on the Strand, just a few yards away from the River Thames, as the first British Triathlon athletes are confirmed. I'm John.
And I'm Michael, and this is a special edition of the Anything But Footy podcast with British Triathlon. Coming up, you'll hear from both Beth Potter and Alex Yee, world champion and Olympic champion. And we'll ask performance director Mike Cavendish about whether there's more names to come.
Now, as mentioned, I'm just yards away from the River Thames, and we're in a room called the River Room, which gives you an indication of the podcast that we're making today and the team announcement that we're here for. The Savoy is one of London's oldest and grandest hotels, opening in 1889, but it's also a region in France, which actually hosted the last French Olympics, the Winter Games of Albertville in 1992.
So it's got the pedigree, and it is the perfect place to meet the latest Team GB athletes, those from British Triathlon.
Beth, firstly, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're back at an Olympic game.
Yeah, no, finally. It's been a long 8 years, but yeah, it's really cool to be on the team now and in a different sport as well. So yeah, lots of new things.
How important is it that you know now that you're going? Obviously you were world champion, obviously you won the test event in Paris, but to be confirmed now, you can concentrate on what you're doing?
Yeah, I think when I was selected for athletics, it was only a couple of weeks out of the actual games, so you know, you're obviously in peak form then anyway, but to be selected a year out and have the kind of luxury of, you know, having a proper rest and off season and then, you know, slowly getting back into training and building from there, I think it's really good, and I don't have to worry about, you know, having to peak twice for a trial race and then the Olympics. Obviously I'll still do the trial, but it's nice to just have, you know, the goal of the 31st of July in my head.
You mentioned athletics, 2 Olympics, Summer Olympics, 2 different sports. Yeah. That is a heck of an achievement.
Thank you. Yeah, it was been tough, really tough. At one point thought I was never going to make another Olympic team, so you know, to do it in a different sport only 7 years after I started it is really cool, and I'm going to make sure I really enjoy it this time. I feel like I maybe didn't enjoy it as much last time, but I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. Rio almost brings me to tears, to be honest. You know, I was sick on race day and just found it really, really hard, and in the end it was the reason I decided to move to triathlon. So, I mean, I hope Paris doesn't mean I moved to a different sport. I hope I have a much more positive experience, but yeah, Rio is definitely, I think my parents still struggle with Rio, and just still traumatized by the experience.
and you changed to the sport of triathlon within the year.
Yeah.
And is it right that you didn't have a bike?
Yeah, correct. So I actually quit my job, came up to Leeds to try it out, and didn't know whether I was going to enjoy it, but I'd quit my job by this point, and moved in the January. Didn't have a bike initially, so got that sorted, and then started training, and found it very difficult, very hard.
How much effort is it to go from training for just the 10,000 metres, which you were doing, to then doing cycling and doing swimming? Because I think you were a swimmer when you were a kid.
Yeah, I think my body was less sore because I'm not doing as much running. I was doing a lot of running before, but I found that I was just very tired all the time, and I couldn't understand how the people I was training with were going out again to train. I was like, but you've done 3 hours of training today, why are we doing more? It was just, to me it was just madness. I just couldn't understand how they weren't tired. But I definitely, it's taken me a couple of years to get to that point, but now it's just the norm and I can do it. I've really enjoyed the journey of getting better. I've enjoyed the variety of the training, and I've just enjoyed the challenge of kind of getting better all the time and almost being a novice in a new sport. That's been really fun to kind of see improvement, every day, every week, every month. So it's been good.
I read recently you were described in a newspaper article as a rookie. Now, as a world champion, as a test event, that seems a little unfair.
Yeah, I know, people always have these opinions, but I guess I am, newer to some people in the sport, and I wouldn't say I'm a rookie now. I feel like I'm quite experienced now, and I've got lots of experiences under my belt, and I've had to go through that kind of journey and to learn all those things. But I wouldn't say I'm a rookie anymore.
One of those experiences was winning the test event in Paris on the course where you will be competing next summer.
Yeah.
What kind of experience was that?
It was just mad. Somebody said to me, what time did you get up for the race? Because the race was obviously very early on Thursday morning. And I said Tuesday morning, because after Tuesday morning I didn't go to sleep again until after the race on Thursday, because I was just so wired. I did try to sleep, and really did try to sleep, but I couldn't. So I think it was just a whole host of emotions. Like I thought, you really, when we were there this summer, it really felt like different to other races. It felt quite, very high pressured. It had the feel of an Olympic Games. So now that we've gone through that experience, we know sort of what to expect next year. I'm sure it will be more nerve-wracking and probably a lot worse, but we know, we have a taste of what to expect for next year.
And we saw in Tokyo the opportunity for British athletes to win 2 medals in triathlon. They're the defending mixed relay gold medalists, Great Britain. How do you feel going into that as the defending champions, and then also individually?
Yeah, I think, as a nation we are very strong. The women are very strong on our side as well, and the men too, but I think we're definitely going to be pushed to the line by the French, I'm sure, and the Americans, and I think they really will be very interesting. I've never actually, apart from this summer, really done a relay that's never really done a relay, so I've really enjoyed it, pardon the pun, but I'm looking forward to hopefully being on that team, and it'd be great to defend our gold medal, but it's going to be tough.
And finally, you mentioned it earlier, the support that you've got from Glasgow, from home, from the family. Yeah,
and everyone in Leeds as well, to be honest. So I've asked them not to tell me if they're coming, so I'm sure they will be coming because they came to Rio. But I don't want to know, and it'll be hopefully a lovely surprise if I see them on the course cheering me on.
Well, we wish you all the best of luck. Congratulations again, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Alex Yee.
How does it feel to be back in the Team GB kit?
Yeah, no, it's always very special to, pull on the Team GB kit. I think for me to have, my second opportunity now is really special, and for it to be, almost a year out being selected, I think is, really special, and, hopefully will give me that extra chance to prepare the best I can.
Gold medal and silver medal in Tokyo. I reckon that made you one of the most successful Team GB athletes of 3 years ago.
Oh, that's bizarre to think, isn't it? I mean, pretty special to look back on it and think that. I mean, it's bizarre because you almost get back into, the following season and you put your medals in the drawer and you almost want to, move on and improve. But like when you say that, it's always funny to reflect back. But really special memories for me, and we were really lucky to have the Olympics in itself, and now to have another Olympics with, full crowds, I think it's going to be really special, and it's great to be able to focus the best I can. I feel like I prepare fairly well for a one day, one race scenario when I have the right preparation. So for British Triathlon and Team GB to kind of back me to do that and give that the best I can after my success in the test event, I think is a real confidence booster for me, and will just hopefully give me the best chance. And I didn't have the best race I could in Pontevedra, and unfortunately my one bad race of the year is unfortunately reflected on my World Championships. But that's the sport, and it's kept me hungry and humble kind of going into this off season, and it's made me really curious to find out how I can improve and how I can be the best athlete I can be. And I think that's only a good thing, hopefully, going into an Olympic year.
It's why we love sport, why I love watching it, and why I assume you love competing in it, is that there are no guarantees.
I see, my Instagram caption afterwards, it's a cruel game, but you've got to love it, because this is so unpredictable, and nothing in this sport or nothing in this world, in fact, is given. So I think you've got to work hard for it, and I think things that are worth working for are often very special and the best things. So I think it's motivated me more, and I've had those 3 times where unfortunately I've gone in as one of the people to hopefully win a world title and not come away with it. So it's actually probably made me a better athlete in myself.
You said about special, winning against the French in their own backyard on the course that you're going to be competing at the Olympics in next summer. Tell us about this summer's achievement.
Yeah, bizarre to think. I mean, for me, I just went to race the best I could, and my goal this year was to qualify for the Olympics, and being the French came as a bit of a bonus, I guess. So for me, I just came in, wanting to race the best of my ability, and most of all, going to a test event is learn as much as I could, because I raced extremely badly in the test event in Tokyo, but the main thing was that I learned so much about the course, and I could almost close my eyes and go through the course and describe to you how it was. And I think that's super important, that we only get that one opportunity to race in that environment before the Olympics. So for me, it was to learn. But yeah, obviously the qualification was the big bonus.
We're sitting in the middle of central London at the moment. We can see the River Thames over there. The fact that you compete in Paris, right in the centre of that amazing historic city, and swimming in the river.
Yeah, I mean, I did a bit of a sight recce in 2022 in December, and I tried to ride round in what's the equivalent of a Boris bike, and found it extremely difficult to ride the course. And then to go in August and actually see it set up and ready to go was just absolutely bizarre and really special in itself. And I feel like the landmarks we're able to ride past, and the scenes of what we dream of as athletes to be able to race in. So it's going to be really special, and hopefully it's just as exciting to watch as it is for us to race.
Is there pressure, Alex, being a British triathlon athlete because of the success that we've had? And it goes back to watching the Brownlees in London. I think you were here watching it in 2012 here in London.
Of course, there's pressure being part of an incredible legacy and an incredible rich heritage of success, but I think that also gives you a huge amount of confidence within performing, but also just with the support staff you have and the people we have around us. We've set up an incredible framework which is proved to be successful for the last 10 years now. So I mean, it's incredible to think that, and I think for me it means that I stand on the start line feeling the most supported athlete, and I think that's how every athlete wants to stand on the start line. So I can't really complain. To call London home and South London specifically, and to be able to get a tube to go and watch the highest level of competition of all, and watch that kind of level of success, I mean, it was just almost what fairy tales are written about. So I mean, that's really special in itself, and hopefully I was just a normal kid that was just going down to watch, enjoy, and still feel like that now. So hopefully there's somebody watching Paris, or who watched Tokyo or Birmingham, and just thinks, wow, like this is what I want to be, and then maybe I can share a similar experience to what I did with Johnny in Tokyo. So yeah.
And final question on that: we've been told that this isn't a home games for Team GB, but it feels very close.
It's pretty damn close, and there's a lot of people I know going, so I think that's super special. I mean, a lot of people booked their accommodation very early, even before I was selected, so I felt a bit of pressure. That was probably the most pressure I've felt so far. So,
well, Alex, thank you so much for talking to us today. We wish you all the best of luck, and we'll see you out in Paris.
no, thank you very much for having me.
So congratulations to both Beth Potter and Alex Yee, confirmed by Team GB with a place in Paris. With a team relay gold medal to defend following that historic win in Tokyo, there should be more British Triathlon athletes to come. Let's find out with Performance Director Mike Cavendish and Team GB's Chef de Mission, Mark England.
Hi, so I'm Mike Cavendish, Performance Director for British Triathlon. Alex Yee won the test event and he was a returning medalist, so that means he's in. And Beth Potter won both the test event and the world title, so she's automatically in. Nice and easy selections for us. Selections are not the most enjoyable part of the job, but these guys have made it really, really easy for us this time because they were so brilliant in the 2 races that counted this year that there was no decision to make. You know, we've got a really good start to the team here.
3 years ago in Tokyo, another brilliant performance from British Triathlon. It's something we're coming to expect.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps the pressure on, doesn't it? It's just amazing to be able to go to these things and watch the athletes perform at their best. You know, we try and prepare them as much as we can, but we're just really fortunate that we have an unbelievably talented group of athletes across our men and women. Our women in particular have had unbelievable depth, and you know, when we fill the rest of the team places next year, I am genuinely quite worried about the decisions we're going to make, and it's good decisions to have, but we've just got such incredible strength and depth, and our men are starting to kind of catch up and come through as well. Johnny's definitely still there. He still undoubtedly has aspirations to go and show that he's an individual medalist. You know, he showed at Super League at the back end of the year that as a relay athlete, he's still absolutely one of the best. He's not had the year that he would like, but the one thing that you can always count on with Johnny is that he generally tends to get it right when he needs to. So he'll be in the mix, and then we've got, you know, a bunch of the next generation coming through. We've got people like your Sam Dickinsons of this world, who was our relay out in Tokyo and did the Commonwealth Games relay, and then we've got, you know, some younger ones like Connor Bentley, who's World Under-23 champion. You know, you've got Ben Dijkstra, we've got Barclay Izzard, who's done a lot of the relays for us this year and is actually our second ranked man at the moment. And then you've got likes of someone like a Hugo Milner, who no one even heard of really a couple of years ago and is coming through great guns. So it's all to play for really in the next 6, 7, 8 months.
Because we do know the team has qualified and they're the defending champions, and they'll face a tough challenge against France, the host nation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of been us and France battling now for a while, and you know, I know the performance director relatively well, and he's absolutely gunning to try and win the relay in particular, because he saw the impact that it had out in Tokyo, particularly on our sport in the UK. So, you know, they'll be very, very strong, but they won't be the only ones. You know, the Americans, the Germans, the New Zealanders, the Aussies are going to want to come back, with obviously Brisbane coming. So we've got to be mindful of the French, but there's a lot of other teams there that could easily turn up on the day.
Mark England, Chef de Mission, Team GB. It's fantastic, isn't it? You know, not only is it good to see you, John, but it's also just brilliant to be announcing another 2, what I would consider to be top quality athletes here today in Beth Potter and Alex Yee, both from the sport of triathlon. So just brilliant.
Yeah, I mentioned that we're here at the Savoy, at the Thames. I can literally just see it through the windows. The River Seine in Paris. Is it going to be a spectacular event?
Well, I think that you know, it's one of those sports that allows a host city, to showcase the best of the environment, primarily because of the 3 disciplines that are involved. And you know what? I really genuinely think that the Paris Organising Committee will produce and develop a Games spirit and a game's presence that is absolutely second to none. And I said to somebody earlier, you know, these are probably not the games to follow. I'm sure Los Angeles will be exciting and everything else, but I mean, in terms of, you could not wish for a better heart of a city than Paris to be showcasing a sport like triathlon.
Because Alex and Beth did win, as you say, in Paris, in their home patch, beating the French. Yeah. But there was concerns about the quality of the water.
We're very, very confident in the organising committee in terms of what they are going to put in place in terms of water quality. They're working very, very hard on that. It's an ambitious project, obviously, be like swimming in the Thames that you've just mentioned. You know, a very, very ambitious project, but one of those projects that will have long-lasting legacy for open water swimming, for triathlon in the future, and so on. So, no concerns at this stage.
I thought that Beth was described as a rookie for triathlon. She converted in 2017, having competed at the Summer Olympics in Rio in athletics. What an achievement is that, and how rare is that for someone to compete in 2 Summer Olympics?
In different sports, yeah. I mean, that is, that's very, very unusual. There's been a couple of transitions previously in terms of track and field and cycling, for example, or rowing and cycling as an example, but it's very, very rare. Beth, I took to Rio in 2016. She was a 10,000 metre runner then. We were talking earlier. It wasn't perhaps her finest moment, in her words, but she really has transitioned across exceptionally well. Guided in some way by Alistair Brownlee, so it's great that he's still involved in that particular way, and giving something back. But we've had such a rich history of triathletes in this country. We've had such a rich performance outcome from triathletes in this country, and so to be standing here today, and I had a little quiet, it's too strong to say ceremony with them earlier, but just a moment with the two of them, just to congratulate them on their selection. Just to be standing in front of 2 world-leading athletes that we have here today is just sensational.
Mark England. This has been a special edition of the podcast with British Triathlon. You can keep up to date with all the latest British Triathlon news on their website, britishtriathlon.org.
And make sure you follow Anything But Footy for all the latest news in the build-up to Paris 2024.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.